personally. I think he has a good heart, and he has sensational. He has all-time talent. But he still hasn't, quote-unquote, grown up yet, and he's got to figure this out because he cannot put himself in the same sentence with Tom Brady. Not yet, and probably not ever. That remains to be seen. But Odell is saying, you're criticizing me for what I do when he did that? And I'm going to ask again, did what? Because this is Tom Brady at age 40 in his 18th NFL season.
So he should know better at 40.
Just a second. And he's been to 7 Super Bowls, and he has won 5 of them. Should have won another one, but he won 5. And his offensive coordinator, who should know better, as Tom trotted off the field after an obvious error that he made, not seeing Philip Dorsett just standing alone on the sideline at Buffalo on Sunday. His offensive coordinator, Josh McDaniels, who has been a head coach in this league and understands how TV is everywhere, the eye in the sky sees all on NFL Sundays, had the audacity to show up Tom Brady with a, what are you doing? Just the way we talked about Ben showed up Antonio. What are you doing? What are you doing? And wait, Josh McDaniels would do that to Tom Brady, who is the greatest of all time. And Tom let it go for just a second as he ran by him, and then he stopped in his tracks. And I've said this, I've written about this for years. He plays on razor's edge. You will not find a better competitor than Tom Brady. And all of a sudden, he went over the edge for just a moment. And he turned around and said, what? You? And jawed at him for just a second, and then 5 minutes later, the two of them are sitting side by side on the bench going over strategy for the next series. So Tom does not take it. It doesn't carry over. He's not going to go to the media with it after the game. And then he's had 2 incidents now in 18 years, because the other one was 2011. Tyquan Underwood, a young receiver on the Patriots who would last only 6 games that year, ran the wrong route in the back of the end zone at Washington. Tom threw it where he thought Tyquan was going to be, and a Redskin was there, and it was intercepted. And Tom didn't like it. And I would say this. I'll go out on this limb. I will say the majority of quarterbacks who have played this game in the National Football League, and you played with many of them, they would criticize a receiver for that on the sideline. They just would. They would take him to task. What are you doing? You know you're supposed to break here, whatever the route was, whatever it was. You would just talk to him about it on the sideline. And Bill O'Brien, another coordinator made by Tom Brady, who got head coaching jobs, obviously at Penn State, now Houston, had the audacity to go over there, and Bill, by his own admission, is hot-blooded, and he says, what are you doing, Tom? Lay off the kid. And Tom turns around like, what am I doing? What am I doing?
See,
really?
Could I ask you a question, Skip? If I gave $20 million to charity, what couldn't I do and be held culpable or be wrong for it?
This is standard quarterback behavior. Now, we've had 2 incidents in 18 years, and he was provoked both times, not by the head coach, by his coordinator.
Skip, that is so,
provoked.
Skip.
Provoked.
Skip.
How dare you?
Skip. So you're going to sit on air and excuse Tom Brady's
Heck,
behavior?
yes, I am, because both times the coordinator was out of bounds and out of line.
So what was Tom Brady?
You know it,
so
and
Tom
I
Brady
know
wasn't out of line.
You're not going to do that to Tom Brady during a game.
But he gets to do it to Tyquan Underwood.
Yeah. Every quarterback. Ben Roethlisberger did it to who I consider the best receiver in football.
That's my point.
He did it.
It's
Wait
wrong.
a second. Did Todd Haley jump all over Ben Roethlisberger last night on the sideline? No, he's not going to, because he's Big Ben.
Skip.
God. This is outrageous.
No, what's outrageous?
I mean, this is just straight Brady hate. That's what this is. You know it, and I know it.
Wrong is wrong.
Twice in 18 years, he was provoked by his coordinator. Did he start this? No, he finished it.
Skip, I can't even believe you sit there and say the man was provoked.
Well, he was.
You're excusing his behavior.
He got shown up by Josh McDaniels, and he got jumped on the sideline over by the bench by Bill O'Brien. Really?
Skip.
Seriously?
Skip, do you know
Tom Brady, and remember when Bill O'Brien jumped on him, he'd already won 3 Super Bowls.
Skip,
Bill had won what at that point? And Bill has won what since then?
Accomplishments does not excuse you from wrong.
It's not wrong.
Okay. Skip,
yes,
it is. Skip.
Did he get into it with his head coach? Did he take it to the media after the game?
There you go. See,
Did
now
it
you keep
affect the rest of the game?
Now you keep changing it. At first, You're not supposed to show your quarterback up, but Tom Brady can show him up because he has 5 Super Bowls. Now you're not supposed to show your coach up, but Tom Brady can do it because he has 5 Super Bowls. What is Josh McDaniels? What has Bill O'Brien ever accomplished? Skip, we see this now. The privilege, no, Skip, accomplishments should not absolve you from being wrong. That's all I'm saying. We're not debating Tom Brady's accomplishments. We're debating whether or not he was right or wrong in this instance. I believe he was wrong. You believe he's wrong, but you're making excuses because he's so accomplished.
He was not wrong. He was right to jump back at Josh McDaniels. And again, I've written about this for years. No quarterback in the history of this game has played that position with more outward motion than Tom Brady has. Find one.
Well,
because you can't.
Brett Favre. I saw Brett Favre. I saw Brett Favre throw a touchdown in the Super Bowl and run 50 yards with his helmet above his head to meet Andre Rison in the end zone.
He did.
Now, I don't know if that's
and
passion.
I've seen Tom Brady do that 30 times, run all the way to the end zone to headbutt with Gronkowski or whoever caught the touchdown pass, because I call him Psycho Tom. He plays on and sometimes over the edge, but it's positive energy.
Skip, stop making Tom Brady this mythical guy.
He's not mythical.
A lot of quarterbacks.
Just won 5 Super Bowls.
Okay.
That's all.
Skip, accomplishments does not mean you cannot do wrong. There have been people that have accomplished a lot more than Tom Brady in said fields and have done wrong. Okay. And so they are wrong.
So let's put it back in the Odell context now. This kid is saying, how can you criticize me when he did that? Well, let's look at this quickly here, Odell. Let's look at Odell. Okay, so he got suspended a game for going completely over the edge and doing battle with Josh.
He was wrong.
He was wrong on that one. Then he threw a big tantrum on the sideline in the game against the Redskins. He attacked the kicking net, and he started crying like a baby because he'd just gone completely crazy on the side. I
criticized him for that.
Okay. Then he turned around and hugged the kicking net and proposed to it the next week. That's fine. And then 8 times now, in his fairly young career, 8 times he has been fined. And the final fine was for verbal abuse and excessive profanity towards a referee. And then, you know what happened before the playoff game up on the frozen tundra at Lambeau Field. He led a group of receivers from Washington after the game down to South Beach to get ready for said playoff game up on the frozen tundra. And it was just so wrong. And then he drops a 3rd down pass in the first drive of the game from Eli Manning up against Aaron Rodgers at Lambeau Field. And it effectively, I'm not going to say it cost them the game, but I don't think it helped them get ready for that game. Okay. Does Tom Brady do that? I don't think so.
So I just want to know what
I'm going to finish this. Okay. So then in the offseason, Odell skipped the Giants' wrap-up breakfast in which he was set to be honored as the team's offensive MVP. Then he skipped Eli Manning's mini camp with the other Giant wide receivers. Then he skipped all of the regular mini camp. And
were they voluntary? Were they voluntary?
Well,
what does voluntary mean? Okay.
And then earlier this year, he was obviously fined for a TD celebration in which he squatted and pretended to pee like a dog. Tom Brady do that? I think not. So Odell has the audacity to put himself in the same sentence to compare him to Tom Brady?
No.
I don't get it.
No.
I mean, that's just
and those
laughable.
8 times you listed, Odell Beckham was wrong 8 times. Did Tom Brady on a Monday night game chase an official and berate an official? Did he, yes or no?
Yeah, I see it all the time. I see it like every game. Some quarterback's mad about not getting called.
I'm just going to make sure.
For
my clarification, you've seen this a lot of times, that a quarterback will chase an official off the field, berate him.
You're talking about the end of the game?
At the game was over, officials running off the field, Tom Brady chasing him, berating him. You've seen a bunch of that.
No, he's a psycho competitor, but that's...
Is he wrong? Yes or no?
Okay, I'll give you that one. He's wrong to do that.
Okay.
They lost. They got screwed in that game. You remember what happened? It was a Monday night game.
And guess what happened, Skip? Yeah. He was a 3-time Super Bowl champ with 2 MVPs. So he was just as accomplished, and he was wrong. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
But Odell is focused on an incident with Josh McDaniels, and you're focused on an incident with Tyquan Underwood. Both provoked by the coordinator.
I'm focusing on wrong. That's all I'm focusing on. Forget Tyquan Underwood. Forget Bill O'Brien. Forget Josh McDaniels. I'm a guy, I believe wrong is wrong.
You told me Odell has a point.
He does.
Has a point?
He
has no point.
You look at see, Skip, I'm sorry. I will never look at accomplishments and say someone should be absolved from an act. If they're wrong, they're wrong. They can win 10 Grammys. They can win 5 Oscars, but if you're wrong, you're wrong. You're still a 5-time wrong Oscar winner. Tom Brady is a 5-time Super Bowl champ.
I don't think
that
he's
was
wrong
wrong
in either case.
We got to leave it there. Is LeBron on track for another MVP award? We'll discuss that next.